All right, everyone, we're going to be starting up a trial this morning, so I'm going to ask everyone to move with a slight sense of urgency. Otherwise, your case is going to be recalled for Monday. So when I call the docket, please stand and let me know you're here. In custody, we have Kiancia Smith, Millie Reyes, Eric Ray Cepeda, thank you. Gage Guerra, custody, thank you. Maria Cisneros, Maria Magdalena Cisneros, Ruben Martinez, custody, Isabel Arias, custody, David Cortez Jimenez, Quentin Meadows is by Zoom, Ebony Robinson, is she in custody or no? All right. Isa Johnson, custody, thank you. Richard Esquivel, custody. Good morning. And Raymond Alejandro is supposed to be by Zoom. And Duran Evans will be later today at 10. All right, everyone, please confer. And Deputy, if there are any other inmates in back, could you have them brought out? Okay. All right, thank you. Thank you so much.
Judge, I already spoke with Matt Allen here for the hearing.
Isn't the hearing supposed to be at 9?
At 9:15.
Okay. Why does it say 9 on the docket?
I didn't want to do a different time slot. Next time I'll do a different time slot.
All right, thank you. Oh. Good morning. Good morning. How's it going? Oh, I'm doing okay. Oh, yes. Hello. Just give us a moment. We're waiting for the defendant's attorney to arrive.
Okay, he's on the line.
All right, thank you. Norma? Person appearing by phone, are you Raymond Alejandro Jr.?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so I'm going to need you to speak up so that the court reporter can hear. Do you have any objections to appearing by Zoom?
No, ma'am.
All right. And Norma, do you have any other paperwork on this? All right, Mr. Alejandro. The reason why this hearing is taking place is because the Court of Appeals are seeking to determine whether or not you wish to continue with the appeal of your conviction and sentence in this case. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, could you raise your right hand for me, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand if you'll state your name for the record.
Raymond Alejandro Jr.
And what is your TDC number, please?
0245-1676.
And counsel, do you stipulate that this is Raymond Alejandro Jr.?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, do you have any questions?
Yes, Mr. Alejandro, it's just to start off, you want your appeal to be dismissed. You no longer want to go forward with your appeal. Is that right?
Correct. It is at this time I wish to no longer move forward with my appeal.
Okay, and we had a conversation in mid-August where you and I spoke over the phone and you had said the same thing. You wanted your appeal to be dismissed. Is that right?
Correct.
And I think you've gotten some letters, but you just haven't been able to get them notarized at the prison facility. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay. But you have received those letters, but the only reason you hadn't been able to send it back is because of the notarization problems. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay. But as of today, you still want your appeal to be dismissed, and the conviction and sentence to stand.
Correct.
Thank you.
All right, is there anything else you wish the court to know, Mr. Alejandro?
No, ma'am.
All right, then what will end up happening is I'll have a record prepared. This will go to the Fourth Court of Appeals, and they will be informed that you no longer wish to appeal. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you,
Thank you,
counsel. Cindy, could you prepare that that record for the Fourth Court, please? Sometimes. Vashawn.
That Mr. Ramos would like to approach his buddy with
Yes.
an answer from the bond sale.
All right, you have an answer on Mr. Escobar?
Double A bonds, they're
Mhm.
willing to reinstate them, so
Okay.
long as his family goes to pay a reinstatement fee, which they're willing to do.
Okay.
Um, and we're prepared to go from there.
All right, Mr. Richard Escobar, if you come up, please. All right, Mr. Esquivel, just give me a moment to pull up your case in Odyssey. Odyssey slow. Whenever you see that circle that's just moving. But hallelujah, I'm finally over the cough and everything that I had. But I think it's going around, something's going around. All right. All right, so before we start, I see that the bond forfeiture was in October.
October.
You might want to check with the clerks and make sure that an ISI hasn't been put in the system, because if it has, I can't reinstate. So, Adriana,
Yes, ma'am, when I printed anything like that on the dirt.
Only I didn't see.
And
Okay.
that, and when I printed out the two documents, the motions, that's all that was there on in the case in Odyssey.
all right, so we're gonna go on the record in a moment, but here's the thing. Your counsel is telling me that the bondsman has no objection to the bond being reinstated, which would mean that they would be back on the bond. But if for some reason there is a discrepancy in the system where there's a nice side that's floating around somewhere, it'll come to the court and your counsel will remind me of this. And I will not sign it if the bondsman does not want me to sign it, okay? All right, the court is calling 2025 CR 011-324 State versus Richard Esquivel. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state? Defense?
Christopher Ramos.
And are you Mr. Esquivel?
Yes, I am, Richard Escobar.
All right, Mr. Esquivel, you were due in court on October 27, 2025. You did not appear. And at that time, the court issued a bond forfeiture and remanded you without bond. So counsel, if you could call your client for purposes of his lack of appearance.
Yes, Judge, for the benefit of the record, the defense calls Richard Escobar.
All right, could you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right. All right, you can lower your hand. State your name for the record.
My name is Richard Escobar.
All right, you may proceed.
Richard Esquivel, at this moment, you are aware that you had a court date on October 27th, 2025 that you did not appear on, correct? Yes. And for the benefit of the record, that court date would have been your very first court date in this court, correct? Yes. And that court date would have been the first indicted setting after your arrest back over the summer, correct? Yes. Okay, that's correct. So since your arrest and since October 27th, you had not had any court dates or court appearances, anything like that, correct? That's correct. And you had not received any notice? No notice, and I might have been oversight in my part, but I can guarantee that no oversight. So let me ask you some questions, okay? And you and I have had discussions that the phone number I received from you from the appointment system, I've been calling, and you told me it was incorrect. So when we first met, we finally met up to resolve the situation. Yes. And since that time, has the bond company either complained or said anything about that you're not in compliance with? No, not at all. I've reported the bond like I was supposed to do. And in person, other occasions or through a video, phone picture that we can send in. So we're almost done. I'm gonna ask you two more questions. Were you aware of the October 27th court date? I was aware that you had to come in. That I had to come in. I was not fully aware that I was supposed to come in. Knew that court date was coming, but you didn't know, you knew you were gonna have to come to court at some point. You just didn't know when that date was. Right. Did you willfully not show up to court? Willfully, no, I did not. Willfully, but go to court. I wanted to. If the court reinstates your bond, do you promise to not come to every court sitting from here on out? Yes, I do. This prosecutor may have some questions for you. Do your best to answer her question. Yes.
Any questions?
Yes, sir. So, what date did you learn you missed your?
When I was arrested.
Okay, when you were arrested, was it because you voluntarily surrendered? It's not.
On the other side, they asked me to up to the door. I'll go to the gate. I was looking, this is trying to, find a fire, I should have it, and the open gates. I would put up my dogs and stuff like that, so, what else?
All right, thank you.
No further questions.
All right, the court is going to find that the defendant's failure to appear was not willful based upon the defense counsel's representation that the bondsman is willing to continue to be on his bond. I'm going to reinstate the bond and have the warrant recall.
For the benefit of the record, I just spoke to Adriana. She's described as the legal specialist according with AA Best Bonds, and she indicated that, she stated they were going to remain on the bond so long as his family reported by the end of the day to pay a reinstatement fee.
All right, so what I'm telling you is I'm reinstating your bond because your bondsman wants your bond to be reinstated. Your contractual obligations with the bonds person, that's between you and the bonds person. Now, usually if you don't follow through on your contractual obligations with the bonds person, they will send to the court what's called an affidavit to surrender surety, which means they're going to want to be off your bond. They're supposed to notify your counsel that they want to get off the bond. And then that document will come to me And normally in this court, what ends up happens when I have affidavits to surrender surety. Sometimes I know things get crossed in emails, things get crossed in faxes. So I usually have an email sent out to the defense attorneys or have defense attorneys called and saying, the bondsman wants off your client's bond. You understand?
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
yes.
Yes, I'd like to state that I would like to retract. I had submitted or to have my consultation, but I want to retract that because I was not clear as to what was occurring, and now I believe there, and I want to debate with the council that I heard.
All right. And then what I will tell you is that sometimes, because I've been a defense attorney, you'll have a client who gets arrested. They don't understand why they're being arrested, and their knee-jerk response is usually, my attorney didn't do something. But normally, that's usually not the case. So from here on out, stop with do a clear head and go through steps to figure out logically what should be done. You understand?
Yes.
All right. Is there anything else?
No, Judge.
All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna give you a reset. State, where are we on discovery with this case?
Yes, Judge. And I think we do have a setting next week on the 15th, I think.
Okay,
And we can,
That's correct.
if we can just keep that setting.
all right, and make sure that you, if you're able to tender an offer today. And Norm, if you'll give him a reset form, and counsel, if you'll make sure in the system that his address is correct, because that's where they'll send notice. All right, is there anything else?
No, Judge. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Morning.
Good morning.
It's just like this. She worked for,
Sorry, I can't hear you.
I have Tanya. That's history. She went to work for a health care. Exactly happened. She got a still from a house. So
Mhm.
I
Yes.
I
Yes. Oh, thank you very much. But that's why I do it. Because you know what I always tell people? If it were your loved one,
Yeah.
who would you want to be caring for them?
And the family should know about it, and the home care should know about it. And that girl or under that, she's probably gonna go 20 years of prison because she's a bitch.
Mhm.
And I think it's,
Yes. Oh, thank you very much.
you don't need me to say that, but
No. I appreciate that's why I do it, because I believe children are vulnerable.
Yes.
People who have mental health issues are vulnerable. People who are seniors are vulnerable. And the home healthcare industry, some of it is becoming, you remember when we were practicing, all of your clients work for West Telemarketing? And I don't know what's happening with home healthcare. I don't think they do background checks. It's just like, you want to do this? And that's one of those positions I think you need to be called, because it takes patience and you're dealing with a lot of things.
No, it's like they would take these old people to the bank.
No.
They could still stay with them.
Mhm.
Happy Friday to you.
Oh, happy Friday.
There would you say there will be no conflicts, or there will be no scheduling conflict?
No. Yes.
Now, can we go to the back and get that other paperwork there?
All right, thank you.
Are you ready for another one?
Yes.
It's Eric Sabella, he's on page 1, three down. Yeah, it's gonna go in.
All right, Eric Cepeda. See. Charles, we are getting closer to Christmas. And you know, my goal was to have my Christmas cards already sent out. That hasn't happened. And you know, my mom's theory is whatever is happening that month, everybody should have everything the first of the month so you can display your Christmas cards on the mantle. All right, so today is his plea deadline
Well,
day.
Judge, if you remember, we were on Zoom
Yes,
and we had asked for an extension of the plea deadline because
Yes.
of the DNA that we were waiting, and then it was brought up that the co-defendant said February the 26th.
see, I looked up,
Checked.
there's someone else, maybe there are other,
Third co-defendant has said the 16th of this month.
yes.
So what we're asking for is just to come back on the 26th of February with the co-defendant, and hopefully by then this DNA will be back. But I just, like Mr. De La Garza, I'm hesitant to have, we can't advise him on a plea until we get all the discovery.
All
So
right,
we'd like the same discovery date that the co-defendant has on February 26th. And on that day, if we have all the evidence, the DNA's here, then you can give us a plea deadline date shortly thereafter.
all right. This is what the court is going to do instead.
Yes,
I'm going to give you all a plea deadline date and a jury trial date. And if the DNA is not in by this date, then we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. I always say, let's not cross bridges until they've been built. So if you all are confer with Ms. Ferguson on a jury trial date,
yes, Judge.
and all of you all are going to be set on the same date for jury trial.
Okay.
All right, so if you'll confer with Ms. Ferguson.
Will.
All right, thank you. Thank you for dressing appropriately for court. And how long do y'all expect the trial to last?
Conservatively a week, maybe a week and a half. I don't know who that.
We're not first, aren't we? We're gonna try first.
Oh, I don't know.
So if you'll speak with Ms. Ferguson
Right.
and let her know that I would like these trials set in sometime in March.
Perfect. Thank you, Judge.
Right, thank you. Okay. I'm gonna send my prayers.
Judge, I have this plea ready if you're ready to.
All right, just give me a moment.
It's a sure some words from her.
And Norma, put it on a March date that's a Monday, because if they have motions, I can hear it on that day. What date?
Would that be violent?
All right, Gage Guerra. And probation, this is an application. Court is calling 2025 CR 006868, State versus Gage Guerra. Could I have parties announced for the record?
Trey Mauer from Chicago.
All right, and counsel, are you the attorney of record on the case?
No, Your Honor, I'm standing in for Robert.
Do you have any objection to this attorney standing in for Mr. Mauer? All right, counsel, have you received all discovery? Did you review it with your client?
We have.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Guerra, did you review the application for deferred adjudication or community supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it? Did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it? Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented? Mr. Guerra, did you review the court admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places? All right. Did you understand you're charged with assault of a peace officer or judge as a second-degree felony? Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you enter a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand? You have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent. By entering this plea, you're giving up those rights. Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case? Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him? Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense? Mr. Guerra, do you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine? Has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea? Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea? Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented? If you're not a U.S. citizen by entering this plea, you will be deported, denied naturalization, and re-entry. Did you understand? Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it? According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at a cap of 5 years in the prison. There's a $1,200 fine. The state is opposed to your applications. They're taking in consideration 2025 CR 006870 and 2025 CR 006869. There's to be restitution, if any, to Matthew Sparks. And there's to be restitution payable to Adrian Navarro, if any, under 2025 CR 006870. Restitution, if any, to Kevin Ramos, RAMOZ, if any, in cause number 2025 CR 006869. Did you understand that to be the plea? Defense, is that the plea?
It is, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea? Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places? By signing that, you're waiving your right to appeal. The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand? Counsel, have there been any such motions? Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? State, any evidence?
No, Judge.
All right. Did you review the waiver and stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places? Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in, the right to remain silent? Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there'll be no live testimony? Did you understand? Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments. Court has reviewed the same. The court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you apply for deferred adjudication. Are you requesting a PSI?
We are.
I need a date for PSI and TAP. All right, we'll be back on February 3rd. At that time, the court will make a decision on your application based upon any evidence that's presented to the court. All right. We're off the record. State, did you want the court to hold off on signing the dismissals? All right, let me give those back to you. I'll give those back to you so they won't get lost. You're welcome. Is there a need for a mental health evaluation or no?
Oh, please, Chair.
Have you ever been diagnosed with any type of mental health issues? Have you ever been on any type of medications for mental health? All right, thank you. You seem to pause. Have you been on medications for anything before?
Right.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Hey, Judge, may I have excuse?
Yes,
Thank you. Have a good weekend.
all right, you too. Anyone else ready?
Yes, and I have Imani Robinson, page 4, 1 1.
Imani Robinson? All right, are we proceeding on the motion to revoke?
No, Judge, we need a date for contested. Also, I'd like to address the court on the GPS issue.
Okay. All right, Norma, I need a contested date for an MTR, please. And could I have the paperwork on the motion to revoke, please?
On who? I'm sorry.
Imani Robinson.
Yes, I told it.
Can you do the 16th of December?
All right, December 16th will be your contested MTR. Thank you. All right, the contestant will be for December 16th. Norma, if you'll give a reset form for December 16th.
Judge, can I briefly address?
Oh, no, I'm gonna have you address that. All right. Now, you wanted to address an issue?
I do, Judge.
Yes.
GPS was ordered by the court.
Mhm.
And I filed a motion to set bond, the court set a bond and also put GPS as a condition.
Mhm.
Ms. Robinson made bond, but she was never released because of the GPS issue. She
Mhm.
made bond back on November 21st, 2025.
Mhm.
She since has still been in custody. So we're asking for it to possibly remove the GPS as a condition because it's still keeping her. in
So why
custody.
isn't she able to have GPS?
I'm not certain, Judge. The rest-
Judge, if I may. There was an outstanding case in another county
Mhm.
that, has been taken care of. I received an email yesterday morning.
Mhm.
That case has been taken care of. Once, we're ready to go with this case, GPS can be installed before she's released.
Okay, all right, so they say now they can have GPS installed. And I guess the reason why they didn't do it is because she had a pending out-of-county case.
Would there be a timeline on when she would get the GPS? 'Cause I
Oh, it should be quickly done, oh, no later than Tuesday.
Yes, before she's released, I mean, the email response that I received from yesterday, it had to do with the bench warrant from the other county. They got everything squared away, so, I'll respond to that email right now.
And then council, as you know, when somebody has a pending case out of county, they're not gonna put them on GPS because that other county is picking them up. And they're not gonna have you with GPS when you're at the jail. So-
That case has been disposed of now to my understanding.
Yes, so she'll be able to get the GPS. And counsel, if the GPS is not on by Tuesday, you can just come in and let the court know.
Will do, Judge.
All right, thank you. All right, anyone else ready?
Yes. Mr. Isaiah Johnson?
Isaiah Johnson, are you ready to proceed on the motion to revoke?
Yes, sir.
It is Isaiah Johnson, Isa Johnson. All right, how do you pronounce your first name? Isaiah? Isaiah?
The H is silent.
Oh, Isaiah. Okay, the H is silent. All right. Court is calling 2023 CR 9442, State versus Isaiah Johnson. Could I have parties announced for the record? And are you Mr. Johnson? All right, did you review the document entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it? Are you the same Isaiah Johnson who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2023 CR 9442 for the offense of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon on February 8th, 2024 for a period of 3 years? Is that you? All right, state.
In Duval County, Florida, the defendant, Isa Bexar Johnson, who's in there, failed to report the supervision officer as directed for the months of October, November, and December 24, January, and February 2025.
How do you plead to that? True or not true? Did you understand by pleading true to that violation, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, and sentence you up to 20 years in the prison and up to a $10,000 fine? Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 4? Court will find violation of condition number 4 true. Is there a proposed agreement? All right, defense, what are you requesting?
We're requesting.
No.
I just offer that.
Mhm. All right, yes.
Judge, I can make an argument, but I would like.
All right, could you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record. In just one moment. Excuse me, can you print out the steps for this case, please?
I was not able to, Judge. I did look in every possible form I could find, and I could not find the Judge. There's no paper file in here, and there was nothing that was scanned into Odyssey on the steps.
So is I'll address that with the district clerk. I don't know what they're doing with regards to scanning.
Yes, ma'am, that was an issue at the beginning when we transferred into Odyssey.
Mhm.
They were telling us that we were not supposed to scan those in. And then things changed on us, Judge.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right, you may proceed.
Thank you, Judge. Mr. Johnson, you were placed on deferred education by this court back in February of 2024, and your probation was transferred to Florida. Where did you reside? You need to speak up. Okay, now, is that your full sister? Half sister. Half sister, do you also share the same mother, same father? Same mother, okay. Now,
I'm just sorry, as a side note, since when,
I'm
well, no, I find it strange. Let me go off the record for
ask my questions.
right. You pull me up. Okay, thank you.
Um. Your sister married? She's currently married now. Right. What I'm getting at is this, who were you working for? Sister's husband. And what did you do? Now from February all the way up until your year, you stopped reporting. Did you committed any crimes? Were you doing everything probation and asking? Okay. What happened in September? That's. Now. Do you have a relationship? And when did you find him in contact? So. That effect. Your life is pretty good. Now, was it March of 25? So you had spent your life really on a lot of things. And then you finally made contact. And what was happening with them? You were trying to build a relationship.
It was on the verge of meeting up, playing games like face Texas. Friend of mine.
How did that affect you?
I just trying to finally have that relationship. Just trying to find still waiting.
Now, you expressed this with your sister. How did she have the same feeling for that, or could she understand you?
Helping.
during that time, this, did you still live with her or?
Still live with her. Yeah. Happens to bring.
Okay, and then what happened then? What happened after the right path? Did you still live with her?
Not out there.
Okay, what did you do?
That's present.
When you left the residence, you do.
He's maintained stable, still, shelter. Bringing to help me. There's a, yeah. Then, impact. Is-
Let me ask you this, during this time, why didn't you?
This is loud. And things. 16, 40.
You guesstimated them or you didn't? Could you use help with the decisions you make here?
Yes.
That's
Before I have
Yes, please. Any objections?
no, they were already.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Yes,
You said you were residing with your sister, and are you aware that she reported to your probation officer that she asked you to keep her home with this? In a way she didn't approve of?
Started home, at a paper, house.
You did move your probation officer notice. That's not accurate. Or a support system of any sort. And chose not to report. I know you were going through a tough time, but when you chose not to report, you knew that was a violation of the probation.
And it's just. Yeah. This.
And you also knew when you made that conscious decision not to report that when you were placed on probation, you were not recommending. For
all right. I have a few questions. Any objection? All right, thank you. All right, why don't you pick up the phone and call your probation officer? Did you call probation at all? Here are counseling. This is what the court is going to do. The court is finding violation of condition number 4 true. Court is going to grant the motion, revoke, find you guilty. The court will sentence you to 4 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. There's an affirmative finding of deadly weapon, and the court will suggest the therapeutic community. And with regard to your plea bargain agreement, the state was silent on your application. All right, did you review the document? I'm sorry, could I have that back? I need to change it. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it? All right, you have a limited right to appeal. That right to appeal is as it relates to the allegations in the motion, not the fact that you were in deferred adjudication. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what that is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand? All right, we can go off the record. With regards to the therapeutic community, I don't have jurisdiction to force them to place you in the program, but they'll see in the judgment that I'm requesting it for you. You'll have to request it as well. Good luck to you. All right, can somebody check to see if all the jurors are here? Whenever you. All right, thank you. Anyone ready?
Waiting for the certificate of appeal for Ms. Moore. She is next.
And for everyone who's here, if the jurors are here, then you're gonna come back in the afternoon, and there's no need to approach the court coordinator and say, is it possible for me to not come back in the afternoon? Because you're coming back in the afternoon because everyone's supposed to be here at 9.
This is Moore.
All right, Manisha Moore. Court is calling 2025 CR 009091 State versus Manisha Moore. Could I have parties announced for the record? All right, and are you Miss Moore? All right, you entered into a plea yesterday. The court accepted your plea. The court entered a legal sentence. Are you seeking to withdraw that plea?
Yes.
Yes.
State, the court entered a legal sentence. Are you asking or agreeing to the withdrawal of the plea?
Yes,
And I shouldn't say withdrawal of the plea, but you're asking that the sentence be reconsidered,
yes,
and you all have reached an alternative agreement.
that is correct.
So the previous rights that the court gave you yesterday, those are still in effect. Do you understand? So according to this new plea bargain agreement, the state is asking that you be sentenced under 1244, that your punishment be assessed at 21 days in the Bexar County Jail, and there be $1,000 fine. Is that correct? Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Is that the new plea agreement? Do you understand that to be the new plea agreement? And has your attorney explained that to you? All right. The court will follow your plea bargain agreement. The court will find you guilty. Odyssey is a little bit slow. All right. Court will find you guilty. The court will sentence you to 21 days in the Bexar County Jail. There's $1,000 fine. Time and money will run concurrently. Give you credit for any time served. There's to be no contact with HEB in San Antonio, Texas. And there's to be no employment as a home health care provider. Is there anything else with regards to sentencing? All right, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it? Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what that is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand? All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing. Now that you have a felony conviction, you are not going to be allowed to work in any field that requires you to have a license. Your home health care provider, whoever you work for, They're supposed to run a background check. They're going to see that you have a felony conviction, and they're supposed to proceed accordingly. If they do not proceed accordingly, and if you pick up a theft case from one of the residents, what's going to end up happening is they're going to be sued because they're on notice. And whatever happens to you, happens to you. You cannot go through life building your happiness off somebody else's misery. How old are you? You're 36. You know you're not supposed to be taking things that do not belong to you. And for an adult person to go into HEB, taking a Ninja smoothie machine that somebody tells me they're, I don't know, a hot item, that item is in the misdemeanor territory range. Like if there's the only theft you had, you would have been in misdemeanor court. The reason why you're in felony court for that theft is because you've committed theft 2 times before. And obviously, your career is stealing, and that's what you want to do. But what I'm telling you, steal again, you're going to have another felony. You understand? And as I said before, that home health care provider thing, you should not be working there. And people always want to know, why are you not letting me work as a home health care provider? And you know what? If you had a relative who was a child, who was in a facility where they're a vulnerable person, you would not want a felon taking care of them either. Home health care providers, for some reason, these companies have just decided to, we're going to hire anybody, we'll pay them $9 or whatever they're paying. And they just let anybody care for anybody's relatives. And then when stuff gets stolen, yeah, they'll fire you. And then you go to the next place and become another home health care provider. And nobody knows that there's a felon working with their relatives. And sometimes relatives don't care. They're just like out of sight, out of mind. Hopefully my relative is being fine. And then when items comes missing from their relative, people are like, well, did they really have it? They're suffering from dementia. Did they really have it? They really don't know what's going on in their life. So you are not allowed to work as a home health care provider. All right, good luck to you. Are all of them here?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So
I do, I have 2 resets. I have Robbins.
line the jurors up, please. Who?
2, page 2, 2 down.
Be ready to update it.
Yes.
Judge, are you here to please right now, or you wanna wait?
Is he an inmate who has a plea? All right, let me take them up real quick then, so you all don't have to bring them back.
And then
Thank
this
you.
is the last plea that I have available, Judge.
Are they on bond?
Yes, they are. I don't bond.
All right, their attorney can appear by Zoom to do the plea.
Yes, ma'am.
Who's,
They're both mine.
are they both pleas?
No, there's first setting and.
Okay, let's take up the first, let me take her up. She's first setting. What's her name?
Isabel.
Isabel Aria, page 2, 4 down.
I think we're here on the discovery side.
All right, and where are we on discovery?
Discovery is complete.
Mhm.
In fact, they tendered an offer.
Okay.
I've conveyed the offer to her. And we're gonna think about it. We're gonna talk more about it, while when it's.
Do you want to bring it back on the 15th, the same as your other case?
Yes.
All right, Norm, if you'll recall this for December 15th. So we'll bring you back on December 15th, okay? All right, thank you. No, plea deadline date.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
And then the next one, Judge, is on page 2, 2 down.
All right, Ruben Martinez.
Evidence that discovered in that. So I sent it to requesting pending whether there's a report or videos associated with the arrest. So I still have a little bit to work out before I can extend off, but we get to talk about it.
That being said, we had a very productive, first session regarding outcome. She just needs to fine tune this information, but I'm confident that we can reach an agreement sooner rather than later.
All right, so we'll call it back on the 15th as well. All right, thank you. We'll bring you back on the 15th. Norma, if you bring him back on the 15th,
Plea deadline as well?
yes, yes.
How does my client respond?
Oh, time and money is running concurrently, so she doesn't have a fine to pay.
Thank
You're welcome. Thank
didn't
you.
hear that
Have a
part.
good one.
More inmates in the back. That's great.
Mhm.
Oh, he had texted me that he was feeling sick.
Okay.
So I don't know if you want me to tell him to still come or.
Um, ask them to hold the inmates so I can speak with them. And we'll,
The two that you asked me.
Or you wanna talk about 2:30?
are they in the back?
In the back.
Oh, just bring them out real quick then.
Okay.
I didn't know they were just in the holding cells back there.
Thank you,
All right, thank you. Oh, you know what, officer? No, tell him just to hold on a moment.
Give him a second.
of the complaint and all of them, because they're all in connections there. She's going to be identified in any fire state. Also too, we're asking that, based on the Northern Act of 2014, that Governor Ray Perry signed into law, that the state has, it gives them not just a duty, it's an affirmative duty. Under Keith and under Heath and Watkins in 3707, the state is imputed to know this information, whether it's actual knowledge or constructive knowledge, or in the station yesterday, that the state was well aware of this. Mr. Kennedy has been notified by the state that he's not been subpoenaed, and he was sent to answer in my question as to why he's not subpoenaed, so that if we can get a hold of him.
All right, so with regards to the statement that was made to Mr. Kennedy, whether or not that will be excluded, we'll take that up if it is offered. With regards to any other statements that the complainant has made to anyone, that's going to be subject to the rules of evidence and whatever objections people may have. I'm sure both parties are aware that some statements are out of court statements that are not sworn to. So the court will take that up as it is presented.
With respect to that, we want to understand that the officers
Do you want Mr. Kennedy here?
One here, after they stated that they can't get a hold of him. Your Honor, he was in this court, the state knows how to get a hold of him, ask him here for services.
Okay,
Asking the state and asking the court to notify the state.
All right, so here's my question with Mr. Kennedy. Do you all want him to be excluded from testifying or not? So that's what,
I want him here to testify, and I want him subpoena. What I asked the state to do is that they have pre-trial services on that, say, hey, show up today, and you can get served right then and there.
all right, so
And
I
they
don't,
know where he lives. I mean,
so my question is, and I want everyone to consider, and I'm gonna bring the jury in. My question is, everyone needs to make a determination. Do they want him excluded from testifying? Do they want any video where the complainant was speaking to him excluded? You all need to let the court know that, and the court will take that up. But for now, just seek to have him subpoenaed.
Yesterday, we were on a located house. None of us were sworn to a different address. We were on the there's some out there investigators.
Well, let us defense attorneys know that Mr. Kennedy is being subpoenaed by the state. And if the defense counsel has an issue with the subpoena, that's to be handled in a court of law. So have your investigator, whoever it is, serve him. And is he currently still employed with the police department or the sheriff's department? All right, so find out if he's still with the agency, and if he is, then, and I'm not telling anybody how to do their job, but you will call the supervisor and tell the supervisor he's being subpoenaed and he needs to appear in court, and let his attorney know, and his attorney can be here as well. So with that being said, each side, you have 10 minutes for opening statements. All right, the rule is being invoked. So if there is anyone here who's a witness, you need to be excluded, and you are not allowed to view anything about this trial. All right, let's bring the jurors in.
All right, for the jury.
okay.
Oh, please be seated. We stand for you. All right, everyone, please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your patience with us. I'm going to give you an oath. This is an oath that is for this specific case. So if each of you can raise your hand for me, please. Do you and each of you solemnly swear that in the case of the state of Texas versus Jerron Evans, you will a true verdict render according to the law and the evidence, so help you God? All right, you can lower your hand. State you may proceed.
In the name and by the authority of the state of Texas, the grand jury of Bexar County, state of Texas, duly organized and paneled and sworn as such at the March term 2024, the 437th Judicial District Court of said county and said court at said term do present and to said court that in the county and state aforesaid and anterior to the presentment of this indictment, on or about the 24th day of September 2022, Jerron Evans, hereas referred to the defendant, did intentionally, knowingly, and recklessly cause bodily injury to Zanini Jefferson, a member of the defendant's family, by intentionally, knowingly, or recklessly impeding the normal breathing or circulation of the blood of Zanini Jefferson by applying pressure to the throat or neck of Zanini Jefferson against the peace and dignity of the state.
To that, how do you plead?
I'm not guilty.
All right, you may be seated. State you may proceed with your opening statements.
Thank you, Your Honor. Pleases the court, counsel. Morning, everyone. Accountability. That's what this trial is going to be about, ladies and gentlemen. Being held accountable for the wrongs that you do. Not everybody likes it. Not everybody wants it. But we as the state of Texas expect it. This trial is actually going to be a lot more simple than you guys are anticipating. By the end of this trial, it should be easy for you all to determine defendant impeded the normal breathing, the complainant in this case, and yet he felt like he would not be held accountable for doing so. Now, in this trial, you're going to hear about an outing that took place one fall day. What started out as a family movie night turned into an assault and a broken family. You will hear from Zanani Jefferson. She is the complainant in this case. She is going to tell you about her relationship with the defendant, Mr. Jerron Evans, and the effect that he has had on her family. She is going to tell you about how her own stepfather, the defendant, reacted. She pushed his buttons, got angry. He wanted to get her attention. He put his own hands around her neck. You will hear her tell you she could not breathe. And you will also hear her tell you it took two different people to get the defendant to release his grip of her neck. You are also going to hear from Barbara Jefferson. She is grandmother of Zanani and the mother-in-law of the defendant. She will tell you that she was present when this assault occurred. She is going to give you her account of what she witnessed that day and how she saw the defendant put his hands around her granddaughter's neck. You're going to hear from Officer Caballero, the Live Oak Police Department. She's going to tell you about her interaction with Zanani and Barbara, what she did after she met with them. And lastly, you're going to hear from Sergeant Rudy Jimenez. He's going to tell you about when he was a detective with the Live Oak Police Department. He's going to tell you about the subsequent investigation that he conducted regarding this matter and how he was able to determine what crime had occurred. Now, I also anticipate that you are going to hear from someone named Myosha Evans. She is the mother of Zanani, the daughter of Barbara, and the wife of that defendant right there. I anticipate she's going to testify for her husband, a defendant. Now, please remember what we talked about a couple of days ago during jury selection, when we talked about the topic of family violence and why a mother would testify against her own daughter. Please also remember during jury selection what we talked about listening to all evidence that is presented to you during this trial. I do anticipate you're going to hear different stories about what occurred that day. Please focus on all the evidence that is presented to you during this trial. Listen to every witness that gets right up here on the witness stand and testifies. Listen attentively. Listen to who is consistent and who is inconsistent. And please also consider who really has a motive to lie during this trial. Now, as I mentioned at the beginning, this is all about accountability. Okay? Being held accountable for the wrongs that you do in life. No matter how justified you may feel at the time that you're committing the crimes, everyone must face consequences of the wrongs that they do. We are asking that you hold this defendant accountable for the wrongs that he did, find him guilty of committing this assault. Thank you.
All right, defense.
Thank you, Your Honor. May it please the court. You know what? I agree. There does need to be some accountability. Somebody needs to hold Zenani accountable for lying. To me, this case is a lot about credibility of the witnesses, right? A lot of this is about the credibility of the witnesses, the people that y'all are going to hear from. You know, I anticipate that we're going to hear some of the witnesses in this case. Just found this out yesterday. I anticipate you're going to find out. Right below our feet, one of these witnesses was pleading guilty to a violent felony that was never disclosed. I anticipate you're going to hear this police department itself is under investigation for silencing and editing videos. I anticipate that you're going to find out there was one video in this case when Zenani came to make a statement and it was time to record it. Video got screwed up. Guess whose video it was? The guy we didn't know is down there pleading to a violent felony. Magically, his dude. I anticipate you're going to find out this case was not vetted at all. You're going to find out that none of the witnesses talked to anybody at this table until this trial was already starting. They want to talk about credibility of witnesses. How can you assess the credibility of a witness you never spoke to? A case you never looked into? What about the officers that are going to come in here? And I anticipate they're going to
Sustain.
I anticipate these officers are going to come in here and I anticipate they're going to tell you, oh, I had no clue Kennedy's was on the body camera. I had no clue. You're going to assess these officers' credibility, right? And that's not even getting to Zenani and Barbara. They said you're going to hear from Zenani's mom, right? You know who else you're going to hear from? Zenani's twin. Probably going to hear from her younger sister, Isis, too. You're going to hear about how dishonest she is. You're going to hear about how she lives in her own world, in her own reality. Let me tell you what really happened that day. Zenani's been going through a lot, right? She's got some mental issues that she's dealing with. She's definitely got some emotional issues that she's dealing with. You're going to see in her text messages, you want to talk about a motive to lie? Zenani sends text messages, I want you to burn in hell. I hate you. Can you trust that? You're going to hear that. What I anticipate. I anticipate also, you're going to hear a bunch of versions of the story from Zenani herself. So Zenani's not doing well, right? She's also sick. She's got a kidney disease, right? So does her twin sister. Her twin sister got the help she needed. She didn't. She's a little bitter about that. She's down. She's depressed. So what happens? Well, Duran goes and takes her and his mother-in-law to the movies to go cheer him up. I can't remember what movie they saw, but it's definitely not something Duran wanted to see. Something they wanted to see. So he takes them to the movie. Everything's going great. When they're leaving the movie theater, Zenani starts freaking out. She can't find her phone, right? She's already not that stable, can't find her phone. They're trying to calm her down. They've seen this before. They drive her back. She goes in by herself. It's taking a little while. Now they start to think, oh no, we know Zanani. We know how she is. What's going on in there? So Duran goes in there. When he goes in there, she's throwing a fit. She's already making false accusations while she's in there. She's accusing them of stealing her phone, right? Luckily, she didn't call the live, PD for that because they probably would have filed a case for theft on that, right? So Duran comes out. He helps her find her phone, right? Calms her down. He's trying to explain to her, look, you just can't accuse people. These people are freaked out when he walks in. You just can't do this, son. You can't act this way. Come on, man. What are you doing? Think about this. They really steal your phone. It's a modern day. People can track it. No one stole your phone. We found it under your seat. Do you not see how your emotions gives you these false perceptions and you're accusing people? Come on. They go get in the car and Nani's upset. She's pissed off, right? And she's just flaying into Duran in the backseat. But he didn't take her side. No one takes her side. Blah, 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 blah. She's telling them to shut the fuck up. So what does he do? He's driving off. She's in the backseat. He turns around, sticks finger in the face, says, no, you shut the fuck up. And then he parks the car and he gets out and he walks off. You're going to see videos. It's impossible, this little car they're in with the center console, to reach back and choke with two hands. Okay? You're going to see some video about that, right? So that you can see how physically impossible that is, right? But also think about this. She finds her phone, right? She doesn't report this the day it happened. No, she waits. She waits to report this. Really, her first written statement, the first statement, because they lost the first one when she comes in, right? Doesn't come in for like a week, right? They actually get their slips to write their statement. And they don't turn it in for a little while. I anticipate there was some back and forth with her and Barbara about whether Barbara really wanted to come. And then you're going to hear from the sisters what the pressure was on Barbara. Because they were saying Barbara lives with Zanani and she's no longer going to live with Zanani and she's out the house. And then suddenly, when everybody told her, no, we're not going to take on grandma, all of a sudden grandma changes. She turns in her story. And her story changes. The own investigator, when he calls and speaks to her, the investigator tells her, your story says it was one-handed, and then at the bottom you put it was two-handed, put an arrow to correct it, make it match Zanani. What's going on? And he's going to question her. Are you perjuring yourself? So these are not credible witnesses. This is not an incredible investigation. You don't think she would leave and she took no pictures of her neck when she left. There's no visible injuries. She didn't even try to take pictures. You're also going to learn when her and Barbara get home, she's giving Barbara the silent treatment for a couple of days. Why? Why would you do that? If you just got choked up, your grandma's your good friend that lives with you, why wouldn't you talk to her about what just happened in the car, right? I think you're going to find out what actually happened is he really did stick a finger in her face and he really did call her out in her bullshit. And yeah, he was pissed off. A man can only take so much, but he never grabbed her and choked her. And she knows that. And I anticipate you're going to find out she's doing that because she wants to inflict maximum pressure and pain on him. To make him come in for 3 years, be fighting this thing. Paying for parking, coming up here, stressed out is going to be a convicted felon.
Sustained.
We talked in voir dire about that Potomac village. That's exactly what you're about to see during the state's case. And I just hope that you wait, because we're going to get off, we're going to walk around, and this case has so many problems. Y'all are not going to be able to get past your doubts. Thank you.
All right, state, call your first witness.
Your Honor, at this time, the state calls Officer Caballero to the stand.
All right.
Yep.
in it.
Would you raise your right hand for me, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, you can lower your hand, have a seat. Just make sure you keep your voice so everyone can hear.
Okay.
And if you'll state your name and spell your last name for the record, please.
Yes, ma'am. My name is Janie Caballero. Last name is spelled Camballero.
All right, state you may proceed.
Good morning, Officer Caballero.
Good morning. Good.
Officer Caballero, where are you currently employed?
With the Live Oak Police Department,
And how long have you been with Live Oak Police?
17 years.
What qualifications do you need to be a police officer there?
I needed to have my peace officer certification. So I did that in 1998. And I went to work for the Harlandale Independent School District as a campus officer for 10 years prior to applying for Live Oak.
And is there any type of ongoing continuing education that you need to take to be a police officer?
Every 2 years to keep our license, we have to do 40 hours of training to keep our license active.
And what's your role with Live Oak?
I'm on patrol and I'm also I just became a field training officer.
Were you employed with the Live Oak Police Department back in 2022?
Yes,
And what was your role with them then?
patrol.
And what does the patrol officer do?
We either answer calls as they come in to dispatch. The dispatch will send us to certain calls, or we just drive around, do proactive, community-oriented policing.
Do you, when you respond to calls, do you continue the investigation or what do you do at the scene?
I do not. I take if it's something criminal that has to continue and being investigated, I do my initial report and then it goes to our detectives.
Do you recall being dispatched to a call on September 28, 2022?
I only recall because I read the report.
And do you remember the report number?
I have it on my phone because they send it to me.
That's okay. Did you make a report at that time?
Yes.
And would looking at a copy of the report help
Yes,
refresh
yeah.
your memory?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, may I approach?
Yes.
Look at this. Now, Officer Caballero, what did I hand you?
The police report that I took.
And how do you know that's the one you took?
It has my name on it.
Okay. If at any point in time you don't remember anything, please feel free to refresh your memory from the report, but
Okay.
don't read it out loud, okay?
Okay, okay.
All right, and counsel, so that the record can be clear on what she's viewing, could you mark that as an exhibit?
Yes, Your Honor, that's gonna be State's Exhibit 1, but not admitted into evidence.
All right, thank you.
Yes, Judge.
Your Honor, could we have an opportunity to verify if it's the same one that we've got?
Sure.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, state you may proceed.
Now, Officer Caballero, were you dispatched to the station on that day?
Yes.
And why were you dispatched to Live Oak Police Department?
To take a call over the phone?
Okay. Is that unusual for you?
No.
And why is that not unusual?
A lot of people don't want to come in to the police department or they don't want us to go to their residence to file police reports. So a lot of them do call us over the phone and we are allowed to take reports over the phone.
So what happened when you arrived to the police department?
So I looked at the notes that the dispatch had written and I believe they said it was some type of an assault. So I contacted the complainant over the phone from my desk.
And did you actually speak to the complainant?
Yes,
Do you recall the complainant's name?
I do not.
Would looking at a copy of your report help refresh your memory?
Yes. And do you want me to say the name?
Yes, ma'am. If it helps you refresh memory, but don't read off the report. All right.
Okay, Zanani, Jefferson.
Thank you, officer. So when you spoke to Ms. Jefferson, without going into what she said, did she describe the elements of an offense?
Yes.
And what do you do next as an officer?
Again, I asked her what occurred, when it occurred, where it occurred. And then I let them know if they want to file, if it's on the phone and they do want to file criminal charges, they would have to come into our police department to complete a witness statement.
Were you giving these details of when it occurred and how?
Yes.
Was, to your knowledge, was it assault? Did it occur on the same day that the call came in?
No,
And is that unusual in your experience?
no.
What did you do next after you took this report down?
I just wrote my report and I submitted it to my supervisor. They have to go over it, and if they feel that it's okay, then they send it to our detectives.
And what kind of offense was described to you?
An assault.
And after you submitted it to the detective, did you have any further involvement with this case?
No.
No further questions, Your Honor.
All right, defense?
Thank you. Officer, what did you do to prepare for court today?
Nothing. I just read my report over the phone because it was sent to me over the phone.
When was did you talk to any of the other officers on this case?
I talked to them yesterday when y'all requested me,
Before, I never requested
or
your name.
somebody requested me to call apparently I didn't see the video until it was brought to my attention. There was 2 officers in that video, and I was asked to say who the officers were and if I could contact one of the officers to identify the second officer in the video.
Now you say identify the second officer, but it was actually to identify both, correct?
I knew who the first, yes, you're right.
So is it not true that you actually said the people in that video are Corporal Jeremy Ruiz, and
Mhm.
you said he's opening a door,
Yes.
and then you said the guy wearing the body cam is Brian Smith, right?
Yes,
And that wasn't true, right?
that is correct. It was not
Actually,
Brian.
the guy whose body cam it was, right? Which I didn't know this, and you actually told me this back there.
Right.
When I said, pretty sure it's this Kennedy guy, we're gonna subpoena him, you said, you can't subpoena him. He shot a lady and he's downstairs taking a plea, right?
Yes, you
Wrong. I did not say that at all.
In preparing for this case, did you read only your police reports?
Yes.
So you didn't see who else was involved in this case?
No, actually, when I got here, I asked who the detective was because I didn't have everybody's report. I was only sent mine.
So you don't know a lot about this case, right?
Just what I took over the phone.
And when's the first time you spoke to anybody over here on this side?
Yesterday.
Okay, so you never, no one prepped you for this, no one spoke to you about this. You didn't really read all the reports or prep yourself.
I didn't see anybody's report other than mine.
Because if you would have read them, right, you would have obviously known, oh my gosh, that's crazy. Kennedy's in here and, but
Correct.
you didn't.
Object again.
Sustain. Ladies and gentlemen, if you can step outside, please. And I'll bring you back in. All right, everyone, please be seated. All right, the court has made their rulings on certain things. You are not allowed to go into that. Ask questions, questions will be answered. But there is a way to ask questions. The sidebar and adding different adjectives or adverbs to your question, where the court has already ruled that at this point in time is not relevant, you're not allowed to do that. Okay? All right. We can bring them back in. Oh, Deborah, do you need a cough drop? Sure.
And Deborah, if you need more tissues, man.
Oh, bless you.
Yes. Oh, that's the one with lotion in it. You said you're allergic.
No, that's okay, man. At this point, my poor nose is so sore.
Okay.
Sure.
With the court's permission, if I can move the stretch nearby.
Sure. Sure.
I'm gonna assume this is somebody's.
Oh,
Okay.
That's gotta be me.
I don't know if you can. I think. You know,
Well, I think it's got a hole in the bottom. Thank you.
and I'm gonna put this right here so we can go to the basketball down.
All right, let's bring them back in. Oh, and when objections are made,
Yes, ma'am.
you need to stop talking because I need to rule on the objection. So whenever you hear somebody say objection, just stop speaking.
Okay.
All right. And the other thing to both sides, if there's a video, or if there's something being shown that you cannot see, you do not have to ask the court's permission to approach the witness. I'm assuming people are approaching the witness for a purpose. If it's discovered that you're not approaching the witness for any legal purpose, then of course the court will change that. But otherwise, you're all attorneys, you're all licensed. You can move about the courtroom to see what's being shown to witnesses. All right, let's bring them in. Okay. All right, y'all can be seated. Yes, we're ready to proceed.
All right, great.
All right, everyone, please be seated. And ladies and gentlemen, if ever you need a break, just remember to do the break sign for me and we'll let you have your break. All right, State, you may proceed.
Your Honor, I believe it was defensive cross.
Ah, all right, you may continue.
Thank you. So Officer Caballero. A second ago, Hugo had asked you if you spoke with Zanani on September 28th. That's not the right date, is it, that you spoke to her, or did you speak with her on the 28th?
I don't recall. I have to look at my report,
Go ahead and
find
refresh.
the actual date.
Yes.
I can?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
that's what it's there for.
Well. I don't see the date. Okay. I found the date.
So did you and Hugo have that date wrong?
Who is Hugo?
The prosecutor that just asked you the 28th, and you said you spoke to her the 28th. Is that correct, or do you want to correct that?
I don't recall if he asked me that, but I can tell you what I wrote on the
Sure.
report. On my report, I put that I spoke to her on September the 24th.
Okay. And what day is this alleged event alleged to have happened? 17th, right?
Can I have to look at my report?
Sure.
Okay. Correct. She stated that it occurred on the 17th.
And do you know her name now?
Yes.
What is her name?
Zanani.
Nani. Okay, so you didn't know her name. You didn't know what date you spoke to people. You didn't read any of the reports.
Mhm.
Don't know who all's involved in this. So you don't really have very much to offer us, right?
I can't answer that. That's your opinion.
And you were never prepped or vetted, right?
No.
You know, in your report, you say, okay, all right. We'll save that for later. We might be calling you on recall. And thank you for being here. I apologize. I'm an emotional person. I'm frustrated at the situation. I don't mean to. I did see in your report when you are describing Zanani coming in, right? You say she's barely reporting it, and you say that because you know it's a weak case, right? She's just barely
Objection,
reporting.
Your Honor, sidebar.
Sustained.
Is it true that you said that barely because you know it's a weak case and it's
Objection, Your Honor. Sidebar.
Sustained.
why did you say barely? Do you remember?
I don't recall.
Do you always use adjectives like, well, she's just barely?
No.
You also, did you note in your report, there was no injuries? Did you note that? Anywhere in your report?
I didn't see her. I took the report over the phone, so I don't know if she had any injuries.
And you know, you wrote the first report you wrote was 2 sentences or 3 sentences, right? And then you came back and wrote this supplemental report.
Yes.
Do you remember doing that?
Yes.
How long after your initial report was your supplemental report?
The same, we have to do it the same day. They won't let us leave our shift until all our reports.
And
are
was that in
completed.
response to someone saying, hey, 2 sentences, you got to beef this up?
Your Honor, objection, sidebar.
Overruled.
Did someone ask
overruled.
you to beef up your report because it was
No.
flimsy?
No.
No. And did you ever talk to anybody in the department about this case before trial today?
No.
No further questions, Your Honor. But I would.
Briefly, Judge.
Yes.
Officer Caballero, how long has it been since you worked on this case?
According to this, it was in 2022.
That would be 3 years.
Yes. And it was just my report that day. I don't do any investigation or anything else.
How many cases have you worked on since then, roughly?
I couldn't give you a number, hundreds.
Thank you, Your Honor. No further questions.
Any further questions? One moment, Your Honor.
Ms. Caballero, have you received any training in investigating cases or crimes?
Just minimal training, but nothing as a detective or CID, nothing like that.
Have you been trained how to take reports?
We are not, yeah, well, we're not trained. We just kind of learn as we go,
Yeah.
what elements need to be in there.
So do you have any licenses?
Just my peace officer
So how are you
certification.
getting certified if you don't do training?
Well, I said in the beginning that we do 40 hours of training every year to keep our license. It doesn't necessarily have to be assault training. It could be, it's got to be like ethics, anything that'll equal 40 hours. But I don't have specialized.
Yeah, but y'all talk in that training about how to interview witnesses, correct?
Yes,
And your department probably provides you some training. If they're gonna have you out there collecting statements, right, they gotta get you some training, right?
yes, yes.
And is part of your training when you have witnesses come in that you separate them to make their statements?
That is correct, yes.
And you do that because if they're together, they could collaborate, sync up there, and you don't get a reliable statement, right? Or a trustworthy statement, correct?
Correct.
And you want to get to the truth, don't you?
Yes, sir.
So if officers in your department are letting them collaborate on their statements, is that very trustworthy according to your standards?
Excuse me. All right, everyone can remain seated when they make their objections because I find that it's easier for people to make objections. Let me hear your question and then I'll hear your objection. So what is the question?
According to your training and your standards, is that a credible way to take witness statements?
To separate them? Yes.
And so, conversely to that, if it's credible to separate them, it's not credible to keep them together when they make the statements, right?
Not
Pretty
all,
obvious.
well, not all the time. If it's a juvenile, the parent has to be there.
But we're not talking about juveniles, are we?
Okay.
Do you know
No.
how old Zanani is?
I do not.
Do you remember anything about Zanani or this incident or anything?
All I remember is taking the report over the phone.
Okay. Yeah. I also, do you wear a body cam?
Yes, we do.
And what is y'all's policy about turning on the body cam when you're taking statements and speaking with
It
witnesses?
has to be turned on.
Why wasn't yours? Where's your video?
It could be that we changed systems because we had WatchGuard before and those cameras did not last very long. We found that by, error by trial or however you say it, trial by error. So we switched now to utilities. So I couldn't answer that. Maybe my battery had died, but if it was active or charged, my body camera would have been on.
But you definitely didn't play any part in getting rid of that video.
Absolutely not.
Can you say the same for your department?
Objection, Your Honor.
They're under, well,
What is the objection?
Gonna be a sidebar.
No, the objection to sidebar will be overruled.
let me ask you, because I got no disclosure on this, so I don't know if it's really that related, but my understanding is that y'all's department's under investigation for some of the things going on in your videos and editing.
Relevance and misleading the jury.
We're missing multiple videos, Your
All
Honor.
right, could everybody please approach, ladies and gentlemen, if you'll step outside.
All right, the jury.
All right, have a seat. Oh, no. I was speaking to the witness. Okay. All right, so defense, your questions stating and adding to your question through this witness about discovery you have not received, that's an improper question. This witness does not know what discovery you received from the state. So any questions about her, any questions you have to her stating, well, we didn't receive it, that's not her job. So if there's discovery you did not receive, you all sign an acknowledgement of discovery from the 226, because this case was transferred to this court from the 226. This witness is not the witness to state, I didn't receive discovery from the state if you think you didn't receive discovery from the state. She has no way of knowing what you've received from the state. Now, if you want to ask her questions about what she has turned over to the state, you're more than welcome to ask that. But any of those other questions, the court is going to sustain those objections. Do not cross in that territory again through these witnesses, because these witnesses have no idea what you've received from the state. You are allowed to ask them maybe what they've turned over to the state, but that's it. Does everyone understand? Let's bring them in.
All right, for the jury.
All right, please be seated. All right, you may proceed with your question. Yes. All right, you may proceed.
So Officer Caballero, when you spoke to Zanati, did you try to inquire, to see if there was any other witnesses?
I don't recall if I asked her that.
If she did give you witnesses, that would be in your report, right?
Yes,
And if it's not in your report, we can infer that it didn't happen, right?
I can't, not necessarily. I don't,
But you've been trained to ask who are these witnesses, and you've been trained to put them in your report.
yes, sir.
So just to kind of summarize your testimony, you don't really know what day it happened. You don't really know the complaining witness's name. You're supposed to have your body camera on so that we can see what she told you and we can maybe impeach her with it, right? It goes to your credibility, but you don't know what happened. Maybe the battery's dead. Maybe you lost it. Maybe the dog ate it. Who knows, right? You don't even know if you turned your camera on. All you know is you're trained to turn it on, but I don't know if I turned it on. Is that correct?
No, because I took the report over the phone, so I'm not going to turn on a body camera unless I speak to a witness in person.
Did you record it?
No,
Are you trained to record it? Those calls aren't recorded.
through dispatch they are.
So you never turned over the recording from dispatch to the state?
I don't have anything to do with that. The calls are automatic. Every call that comes into our police department or our dispatch is automatically recorded.
So let me ask, every call, no matter how ridiculous, you just
Mhm.
take it and pass it on, right? You take the statement and pass it on, right?
Mm, If it has to be investigated, if there's criminal charges, that's when we forward it to our detectives.
Someone makes an allegation, no
Yes,
matter
yes.
if you think it's BS or not, you just pass it on. So that's not you to,
Correct, correct.
and that's kind of what you did in this case. You think, if you can remember.
Yeah, I took the initial report and that was the end of my
So
involvement.
you weren't there at the time, right?
I was not there when the
You weren't
incident
in that
occurred.
car.
No,
You don't even know any of these people's names, right?
no.
You have no idea if she's credible or not.
I do not know her as a person, no.
That's all, Your Honor.
No
And
further
can-
questions, Judge.
can
All
we
right, is this
save it
witness
for-
six? Please remain seated. Is this witness excused or subject to recall?
Excuse me, the state.
We would like the subject for recall, Your Honor.
All right, the rule has been invoked. What that means is you're not allowed to view or discuss your testimony about this trial with anyone. Yes, right. Just make sure you're available if either party wishes to recall you.
Okay.
All right, thank
Yes,
you.
ma'am. Thank you.
State, call your next witness.
Your Honor, at this time, the state calls Sergeant Jimenez to this thing. I know.
Okay.
All right, could you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you can lower your hand. Make sure you keep your voice up so everyone can hear. If you'll state your name for the record.
Yes, ma'am. Rudy Jimenez,
And if you'll spell your last name, please.
Jimenez.
All right, state, you may proceed.
Good morning, Sergeant Jimenez. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well, sir. Thank you.
And where do you currently work?
I work for the City of Castroville Police Department.
And what's your role there?
I'm a patrol sergeant.
And what do you do as a patrol sergeant?
So I assist the officers with any types of investigations they maybe have going on, responding to 911 calls, and just kind of supervise as a first line supervisor.
Where did you work before then?
I worked for the City of Live Oak,
And how long were you at Live Oak?
5 years.
What was your role with Live Oak?
With Live Oak, I left there as a patrol sergeant, but prior to that, I was a detective with the police department.
And what are the differences between the responsibilities of a detective versus a patrol officer?
As a detective, we just did more of the investigating. We did a lot of the follow-up and just reviewed a lot of the information that was presented to us with our caseload that was given to us by our supervisors. Whereas as a patrol sergeant, we're more of a first line where we're out on the road with the patrol officers.
And when you were with Live Oak, you were a detective, correct?
Yes, sir.
What was your responsibility?
To investigate any of the cases that were sent to us from our supervisors. Again, we do more of the follow-up investigations, reviewing all of the information, whether it be the initial reports, statements, body cam footage, photographs, things of that nature. We would review all of that information. And then after reviewing that, we would make the determination whether or not probable cause was met to go ahead and file the case.
And what kind of cases did you work on?
We worked, a variety of cases. We've worked assaults, thefts, homicides, just all kinds of cases.
Were you working with Live Oak in 2022?
Yes, sir.
And at that point in time, what was your job title?
I was detective corporal.
And how long had you been a police officer at that point in time?
At that time, I believe about 13 years.
Do you remember being assigned a case with the complainant of Zanini Jefferson?
Yes, sir.
When were you assigned this case, if you recall?
I believe it was sometime in September of 2022.
Did you make a report at that time?
I didn't collect the initial report. I was given the case file, but yes, I did do a follow-up report in reference to the initial report.
You remember the report number?
I don't, not off the top of my head.
If you were given a copy of that report, would it help refresh your recollection?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, at this point in time, I'm approaching with what's been marked with State Exhibit 2 for identification purposes. Sergeant Jimenez, do you recognize what I handed you?
Yes, sir.
And what is that?
This is my supplemental report.
And how do you know that's yours?
Based off of the information that's listed on here, it's documenting my follow-up in reference to the investigation.
If there's ever a point in time where you don't recall anything, feel free to refresh your recollection with the report. However, please don't read off of it, okay?
Yes, sir.
So you said you were handed the file from a supervisor, correct?
Yes, sir.
What steps do you take after you receive a file?
So once we receive the file, read over all the documents that are included in the file. Again, that's the initial report taken by any of the officers that were associated with the case. Review the statements, if there's statements in there. If there's not, then that's where my investigation will begin with the follow-up of trying to collect statements from anybody that was involved, any witnesses, things of that nature. Reviewing photographs, body cam footage, anything to clarify anything that may not have been listed in the report or something that I may not have clarification on after reading statements or the reports.
And just to clarify, that's what you do generally,
Yes, sir.
correct?
Yes, sir.
In this case, what did you do?
The same thing. I'm very consistent with my manner of investigating because it helps keep a steady pace whenever you get cases, because we do get assigned, quite a few cases at once. So I learned, for me, that works for me is just to review everything that's in that case file to determine whether or not that case needs to be worked on immediately, or if it's a case that can be set to the side to address some priority cases.
Did you identify a complainant in this case?
Yes, sir.
And what was the name of that person?
I'm going to refer back to this. Zanini Jefferson, I believe was the name.
Ms. Jefferson?
Yes, sir.
And did you get a chance to speak to Ms. Jefferson?
Yes, sir, I did.
What, if anything, did she describe to you without going into?
Objection, hearsay, Your Honor.
Sustained.
Were the elements of an offense described to you by Ms. Jefferson?
Objection, hearsay, Your Honor.
Overruled.
Yes, sir, they were.
And did she identify any witnesses?
Yes, sir.
Objection, hearsay, Your Honor.
Untimely.
What, if anything, do you do with that information?
Basically, I'll use that during my investigation. I'll review their statements if they wrote any. If not, then I will reach out to any witnesses that may have been there at the time of the incident to try to get a statement from them.
And if you remember, who were the witnesses identified?
It was, I believe,
Objection, hearsay, Your Honor.
Sustained.
Did you speak to these witnesses?
yes, sir.
Was there a defendant identified?
Yes, sir.
Objection, hearsay.
Sustained.
What were the names of the people that you spoke to in regard to this investigation?
It was Miss Barbara Jefferson and Miss, sorry, I got to refer back to the report. I think it was Miosha and Mr. Duran.
And who was Barbara?
That was the complainant's grandmother.
What was her involvement in this case?
She was a witness to the incident. She was inside of the vehicle at the time of the incident.
Was her statement consistent with Ms. Jefferson's statement?
Yes, sir.
Who was Myosha?
That was Mr. Duran's wife, I believe.
And did you get a chance to talk to her?
Yes, sir.
Was her statement consistent with the complainant's statement in this case?
No, sir.
What, if anything, differed?
The statement given by Miosha was that there was no physical contact during the incident.
And the complainant, what did she describe?
That she had been choked by Mr.
Objection, Your Honor.
What is the objection?
Hearsay.
Sustained.
Were you able to speak to Mr. Duran in this case?
Yes, sir.
Did you ever meet Mr. Duran in person?
Sir.
So you wouldn't be able to identify him if you saw him?
No, sir.
When you spoke to Mr. Duran, how could you be sure that it was him you were speaking with?
When I spoke to him via phone, I had him provide his identifying information, name and date of birth.
with that information confirmed?
Yes, sir.
And when you spoke to the other witnesses in this case, did you also ask them identifying questions?
I don't recall whether or not I did it at that time with Miosha, but with the other ones, yes, sir, I did.
During this investigation, did you ever make a scene? Did you ever investigate a location?
During this investigation, no, sir.
And why is that?
Based on that, the information had already been a couple months past when it had been reported, based on there being a little bit of a delay from the initial incident to when it was reported.
Is that unusual for you?
No, sir.
In your experience, why is that not unusual?
Sometimes it depends on the complainant on whether or not they want to come forward or if they're comfortable coming forward, depending on the offense. Sometimes there's just a delay with reports.
You mentioned earlier in your testimony that you review everything in the case, photos, body-worn camera, reports. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you review any photos in this case?
No, sir.
Going back to your conversation with Mr. Duran, what was Mr. Duran's version of events?
During my conversation with him, he kind of walked me through the same scenario that they had gone to the movie theater to watch a movie. The complainant had left her phone. They weren't able to find it, so she became upset, at which time a verbal argument began between them. During that argument, things had continued as an argument, and that was the extent of what had occurred. When I had asked Mr. Duran, or I advised him that I was investigating the potential assault, I asked him if at any point in time there was any contact made between him and the complainant, at which time he stated that there was not.
Did his version of events ever change?
Yes, sir.
How did it change?
As I continued my investigation, I had spoken to Mr. Duran and I advised him that, there's times depending on the arguments and how things may escalate, that there's times where individuals are potentially pushed to a point that things may escalate, whether it's a common occurrence for them or not, that sometimes things just tend to escalate. And then at that point in time, I again asked him if anything had occurred, any contact had been made. And at that point in time, Mr. Duran had stated that that he did reach back during the argument and that he may have grabbed the complainant by her arm.
And this was different from the version that you received earlier in the same conversation.
Yes, sir.
Did that stand out to you?
Yes, sir. Based on the types of investigations we do, a lot of times we will get a denial. And then as we continue with the investigations and provide a little bit more detail in reference to what may be available, what may have occurred, and then at times the stories will change. It is possible for that to happen. Yes, sir.
This conversation with Mr. Duran, how did it occur?
Via phone.
And did you make a recording or a record of this conversation?
Yes, sir. It was recorded.
So going back to when the story changed with the contact, did you continue talking to Mr. Duran after that?
Yes, sir.
What did the conversation entail of?
After Mr. Duran had explained to me that he may have grabbed the complainant's arm, he went on to state, that wasn't common for him and that he was just upset, and that after that incident, he had actually removed himself from the vehicle and that he had walked home.
How did that impact your investigation?
I had to look at everything from a different perspective, look at everything as a whole, based off of the initial denial and then the comment about potentially making contact. I had to kind of start looking at the statements given by the other witnesses to determine whether or not those matched. Because again, everybody has a different perspective of what had occurred. And so what we do is we typically look at all the witness statements, everything together to determine whether or not that there is a matching bottom line when it comes to the investigation.
Was Duran able to identify who was in the vehicle at that point in time?
I don't recall if I had asked him that or if he had identified them.
You mentioned that Myosha and Barbara were also in the vehicle, correct?
Yes, sir.
Who is Myosha in relation to Miss Jefferson?
I believe it is her stepmother.
And Mr. Duran to Miss Jefferson?
I believe it is a wife.
So
I'm sorry. Melsha is her mother, Mr. Duran's wife, and Mr. Duran is the stepfather, I believe.
Was this version, Mr. Duran's version of events, consistent with the rest of your investigation?
It matched Myosha's statement, but it didn't match Barbara's or the complainant's statement.
What was the differing point?
The type of contact.
Objection hearsay, Your Honor.
Sustained.
Did Duran identify an assault?
Initially, no, sir.
And after talking to him, in your experience and training, did he identify an assault?
He did, but very vague because his comment was he may have. So that's where I had to kind of take a perspective and match that with the other statements.
What else did you do in your investigation for this case?
I spoke to Myosha to get her side of the incident as well.
Was that statement consistent with the other
Objection
statement?
hearsay again, Your Honor.
Sustained.
What did you do after your investigation was complete?
Once my investigation was complete, I put everything together, did my final review of all the information that was provided, then the statements that were given via phone call and the written statements. And after reviewing everything, determined that there was enough probable cause to file the case with the district attorney's office.
Do you file every case that you investigate?
No, sir.
Why not?
Not the elements for probable cause isn't always met. So it's important for us to make sure that all of those elements are met prior to them being approved.
And you believe the elements were met in this case?
Yes, sir.
Now, going back to your phone call with Mr. Evans, you mentioned that was recorded,
Yes, sir.
and when you made that recording, your device, to the best of your knowledge, was working correctly.
Yes, sir.
I'm approaching with what's been marked for identification purposes at exhibit number 3.
Yes, Your Honor, can we approach briefly?
Yes. All right, defense, you may proceed. I'm sorry, state, you may proceed.
I know you it's been marked for identification purposes at state exhibit number 3. What did I hand you?
Is a disc that has my initial with the date on it. It says statement.
And have you reviewed what's on that list?
Yes, sir.
And what is on the disc?
It is the recording of my interview with Mr. Duran.
Has it been modified or changed in any way?
No, sir, not that I'm aware of.
If it was a legal redaction that would have been on this.
Yes, sir.
And how do you know this is the same disc that you reviewed?
It's got my initials and the date on it that I reviewed it.
Your Honor, at this time, the state will move to admit state exhibit number 3 into evidence.
Honor, I would object. He just stated it, right, that he's aware of, he can't know for certainty and because of the issue with the police department. He can't with certainty say that this video or this audio has not been altered or deleted in any way, shape, or form, because he's unequivocal in that, he's not unequivocal in that statement. I don't believe the state has made it predicate, and therefore it should be excluded.
All right, my understanding from the witness's testimony is that the only redactions on that video were legal redactions. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right, the defense's objection is overruled.
May we publish, Your Honor?
Yes.
We approach, Your Honor.
Yes.